What is? Oh, are we actually live?
We are live.
We are live. Okay, sorry. We're having some Facebook issues, so it's not live on Facebook. But welcome back, everybody, to another Go Getaways travel podcast. My name is Josh, and as always, each and every week, I'm joined by my friend and co-host Matt. How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody, from the chilly Northeast.
Yeah, it's even chilly here in Florida. It was last night. It got down to, I think, like 38 degrees. It was cold.
That's what it's been chilly. I mean, I've had to bust out a jacket finally.
We actually did a session this morning over at Wilderness Lodge, and I actually wore. It's the only like actual winter coat that I brought from up north, and it's a Carhartt duck jacket, and it is, man, it kept me nice and warm. That's for sure. But yeah, so this week is pretty special, and no Dave this week, unfortunately. Wait, why am I not there? Well,
Dave went back into suspension.
He did, unfortunately, but he might be back next week. We'll see. This week is really exciting. I don't think that Taylor and I have really talked about this very much or even broadcasted across our own channel. And I'm sure we'll make our own kind of dedicated video aside from the podcast. But we are finally going to Tokyo, which is super cool. And with that being said, you guys have the opportunity to come hang out with us and go to Tokyo as well. Itinerary is already planned out and it's super easy, but that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And with that, we have to bring on somebody who, I don't know, is she really an expert, Matt? I mean,
I can't say anything because because the worst part about it is, Josh, we're going to pull her up on the screen and she's probably not going to be sitting there.
I don't, or her mic might be muted or something like that. Well, let's see. Marianne.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Be nice to me, you two.
We're always nice to you, Marianne.
Absolutely.
Josh
Absolutely.
usually is.
I am usually.
Of course I'm an expert. I got Jake here. I'm all set.
It looks like you're all by yourself.
He's here. It's like Cyrano de Bergerac over here. But he's going to tell me, any questions that I can't answer, he's going to do it.
Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah. So I guess let's just get into the regular part of the podcast before we get crazy. Hey, we got some feedback over there, Marianne.
Hey, we already talked about that one time.
There we are. So, yeah, Matt, take it away.
I'm going to start out with the thing that everybody's been talking about, Josh. I'm not even going to mess around with it. We have dates for Cooking with Adam. This is the greatest thing ever. He's going to be doing 3 episodes starting in February. They're not going to be copycat, but they're going to be excellent shows. I think he's referring to them as comfort food. They are going to be starting on February 9th with something that piques my interest. I might have to have somebody else cook this for me because it might be a little bit above my my expertise. Caramelized apple and brie stuffed chicken breast with Hasselback potatoes and crispy Brussels sprouts.
Sounds good.
Sounds amazing and a little fancy for my.
I don't know if I could cook that. Oh, I'm not that good.
I mean, the great thing about Cooking with Adam is that he makes it very easy to follow. And no matter how complicated something seems, it's pretty straightforward, which is really cool. And he's there to walk you through it every step of the way. We've done a ton of these. That clip that I just threw up on the screen is not one from our class, but is another past one. But we've done some really great ones. This is one from the past, which disaster. We haven't shown that clip in forever. As you can see, that was our Ronto rap, copycat Ronto rap from Galaxy's Edge. We also had a lot of Jedi mind tricks that night, which is probably why I dropped that on the computer.
Do you notice there's always an excuse when something goes wrong?
Of course. I mean, there has to be, right? Like, isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
And you had 2 hands on it too, Josh. I don't know.
Did I? I had 1 hand on it.
Oh,
did I have 2? Okay. I don't know. I was trying to tilt it so that you could see it on the camera. Oh, man. That was just, wasn't a good night. I mean, it was a good night. It was a great night. Just
until you dropped it.
Exactly. The computer survived, though. So that's what's most important.
Yep, it is.
So he's going to be doing 3 episodes in the early part of actually through the month of February. I don't want to say the wrong pricing because I didn't write it down. Shame on me. But any information for that can be found at adamgolgel.com. I do know the last episode is a chili, which
that sounds yummy.
Casa Verde chili. I'm intrigued by that, but they're back. I can get people to stop bothering me.
How about it?
Thanks, Pam, for doing the hard work and start yelling at them. What else do we have here? Group cruise. Hey, Alaska 2022. Yes. It's Alaska. Here finally. 7-night Alaskan Cruise out of Seattle, July 15th. We're going to be hitting Kitchikan, Skagway, Juneau, and Victoria, British Columbia. We're going to do all kinds of excursions. Not everybody has to do everything together. We're going to do a lot of activities on the ship. Bar crawl, bionic bar.
Yes, we actually just purchased our drink package the other night, so we're set. We're set now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting into Seattle a couple days earlier so I can explore Seattle a little bit.
Yep. Afterwards,
I'm hitting down into Disneyland if California lets me in, and that has nothing to do with COVID. But Josh, I know you picked one excursion. Have you picked any more?
We have one. We have one if it's still available when we go to book it, which is a helicopter flight, which is going to land on on the glacier. It's not one of the glaciers, but on the glacier, and you get out, walk around a little bit, and then I think there's something else that goes with it. But if we don't get to do that, what we're hoping is that because the ports are in the state of Alaska, that hopefully we can just kind of get off and do whatever we want. And if that's the case, we'll probably try to book a private excursion, if possible, on one of those other days. So we'll see, but
that should be
right
fun
now. Well, it's going to be a blast. And I think with us having the drink package and then having our whale sightseeing tour, I think we're pretty much set on at least kind of covering the basis for the trip. So we're super excited.
I'm not walking on the glacier, but the drink package will be fun too.
Yes.
Yep.
Josh, you didn't buy like any of the dining packages. You're going straight dining room and then winging it.
We haven't bought any of the packages yet. We might buy a couple of the packages. The thing is for us is we don't really want to eat at any place that we've eaten at before. So unless the restaurants are distinctly different than other ships, more than likely we may go back to one. We may not. Sushi's always really great. Teppanyaki is always really great. So we might just do that. And that would be a great thing to do with everybody if we can. Right. If obviously we're limited to the amount of people we can do it with, but yeah. So we're just gonna kind of go with it and see what happens.
Yeah, I picked up Chops and the one extra, so I'm thinking about doing Chops and Jamie's.
Well, you can't go wrong with Jamie's. Jamie's is a fantastic restaurant, or at least it was on the Harmony. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I just want that meat, like.
Oh yeah, the board, a giant
a giant meat board just for myself.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's fantastic.
So anybody interested in that, the Alaskan Cruise in July, events at golgelgetaways.com, subject Alaskan Adventure, and we're going to be on Royal Caribbean Ovation of the Seas.
Yep, that's going to be a great time, and if you come along, you will be subjected to a group photo and video, much like this, with matching t-shirts and lanyards, maybe something else, and then the best part of the entire cruise, which is the meet and greet, if they have this, which is a silent disco, and you're also subjected to these terrible dance moves. So.
Still confused on what your tongue is doing right there, but it's okay.
You do what feels right in the moment.
That's right. So. Matt, stop picking on him.
Oh, I saw this coming. The defensive Josh.
Yep.
But that's gonna be a great trip. We got a whole bunch of people on that ship. So anybody interested, shoot an email to events@golgelgetaways.com, and we'll hook you up with an agent who's knowledgeable about the trip. possibly someone you can meet on the trip.
Absolutely.
Some news coming out of Disney this week, Josh. We got some restaurants reopening. Flying Fish,
Thank goodness.
the Boardwalk, January 27th. So that's literally right when you get back from your next adventure.
Yeah, a couple days after. We'll be back a couple days after that. But yes, absolutely. Flying Fish, fantastic restaurant. One that has been needing to reopen for a long time. So glad it is.
Yeah, and then the Turf Club Bar and Grill over at Saratoga Springs is going to be open on February 3rd. And then Jico opening February 17th at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which that and Flying Fish opening right around the like 2.5 week time frame from each other really starts to get that all the restaurants kind of get going again, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet. That's on my list. That might be on.
You haven't been to Jico yet?
Jico, no.
Okay. Yeah. Jico is a fantastic restaurant. Anybody out there who hasn't been there yet, Matt, you're good to fly solo, but it's an excellent restaurant for couples as well to have kind of a more intimate, nice little dining session. And the food is it's amazing. So I know some people, I think, kind of stay away from it because they're afraid of like maybe some of the African flavors and spices and influences, but it's really good. Marianne, is that you dinging over there?
Stop dinging.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
Well, what can I do? I can't mute it.
Okay. Well,
This is the best part, everybody, about going live. You never know what's going to happen.
You ask me on. I'm not tech savvy. Stuff is going to happen.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
So we'll keep talking while Jake's trying to figure out how to work a computer. Cape May Breakfast is coming back starting February 15th, and that is the All You Care to Enjoy, which is great, but it's still not a character breakfast yet.
And it also does not include crab legs or anything like that. You have to pay extra for those.
And then Ale and Compass Breakfast is coming back too. Yep. So those are all the restaurants that are coming back. It's great. Everything's starting to turn around there. What else we got going on? Concert Rock. These are some things that I wanted to kind of talk about tonight. So Concert Rock concert series for Flower and Garden Festival. They announced all the concerts that are going to be coming up for that. Whole bunch of them. It starts out with Rick Springfield. Like Marianne, you saw him in concert one time, didn't you? Probably.
Yes, I did, Matt. A while ago. Quite a while ago.
I mean, a great list here. Garden Rock. Oh, what?
All good. There was a
bunch
of good performers coming.
Yep. And the Garden Rock's dining packages are actually going to open up tomorrow. So reach out to your Go Gal Getaways agent if you have one, and we can work on booking that dining package for you. And we're going to bebop down the street a little bit. We're going to head down to Universal. This is the one that kind of piqued my interest a little bit because it's honestly better than the concert series that they have going on at Disney at Epcot. Ding, ding. The Universal Studios Mardi Gras concert series.
We apologize to anybody who might be listening in their car or somewhere that's not watching the video, and you just keep hearing a dinging. And if that's a ding that normally you hear for notifications, it's probably not your notifications.
And it's not your car.
And that.
The concert series, I think, at Universal is a little bit better. You know what I mean? It's opening on February 5th. Sugar Ray. Who else? Diana Ross. Styx.
So wait, Sugar Ray is going to be at Universal for a few months before they go to Flower and Garden Festival?
No, Sugar Ray's not there.
Sugar Ray's not going to be at Flower and Garden Festival either.
No. The only ones that are kind of like your generation, Josh, and I don't is probably is Simple Plan.
Well, just because usually Sugar Ray,
Mark McGrath is there.
I love Sugar Ray. He has the same birthday as me.
Yeah, usually they're over at Disney, not for Festival of the Arts, but I think for Flower and Garden Festival.
Oh, they don't mean that, Sugar Ray?
You mean Sugar Ray? You got Seal, Jason Derulo.
Oh wow!
So there's a lot of good artists coming to the whole area.
Dang!
But let's get off of this because I see it in the chat that we're getting a lot of hate that we're not talking about Tokyo yet, Josh.
I know we're like 15 minutes in, guys. So let's get to it. So
we can
Tokyo.
tell we got some first timers.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Well, let's just get into it, right? So we are kind of planning this whole. Pam has been trying to put together a Tokyo trip for a really long time. It's difficult to do if you've never been there, and to plan it all by yourself is difficult. So, Pam and I have been kind of working through, and this has been something that we've been working on since like, God, I want to say almost like July, maybe June even. So, and we finally have it all put together, and we are going to be going to Tokyo in March of 2023. So, if you're out there, you're listening, wondering, interested, you've got plenty of time to start saving up and make payments to do this. And it's going to be a fantastic trip. Taylor and I are going to be there. We already have some friends who are interested in going from our first group cruise, going to be our second group cruise now. And this will kind of be like our third kind of group trip together, which is going to be awesome. And but yeah, so let's get into the details, I guess, of what the Tokyo trip is. So where should we start? Day one?
Day one.
I don't even know how to talk about this.
I think you just go right off the itinerary, Josh. I think that's going to be the easiest thing of day one, March 26, 2023.
Yeah. So getting in on March 26th of 2023, just like Matt said, is going to be arriving in Tokyo. And for the most part, depending on kind of what time that you get in, you are going to kind of have the option to either take group transportation from the airport to the hotel that we'll all be staying at, or we know some people might be trying to get in early. If that's the case, that's totally fine. But basically that day when we get there is going to be kind of up to you to kind of do what you want, explore a little bit of Tokyo, the city, if you want to.
Yeah.
I know some people were even talking about just buying their own Disneyland tickets and trying to go in that day for a couple of hours just to, because they're just full of excitement of getting to see Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah.
But so Marianne's on tonight because Marianne's been there before. What's it like flying into Japan, getting around? Give us your thoughts.
Okay, flying into Japan, it was very long. We were coming from Paris, but I mean, it's a very long flight, very long. But once you get there, like we flew into Haneda because we felt it was closer than flying into Narita. So we flew into Haneda. You can take public transportation. I mean, way easier than I thought it was going to be, because I was a little like, oh, I don't know. But Jake was like, no, we'll just do it. Everything, yes, is obviously in Japanese, but everything is also in English. So there might be 5 million colors of lines, but actually very easy to get around, to navigate. It tells you exactly where you need to go. And anybody that you ask, they're very friendly, will tell you that. I mean, everybody speaks English, so that was not a problem either. But you'll be tired. So to say you're going to get there and go into a park might be a little difficult, unless you're riding the high of getting there and you're excited. But we were.
I'm just telling you what other people have told me, so I don't know. All right.
Yeah, that might be just a day like to get there, get situated in your hotel, relax a little bit, kind of get the lay of the land, and then start fresh, the next day. That's my, what we did, what worked for us.
Yeah. It's, and I think more than likely that's probably what we're going to end up doing, is just kind of getting in and relaxing, and just kind of taking it in, because this is, I don't think Taylor and I have announced this other trip that we're doing. So
don't. If you want to know about it, you can become a Patreon of the WDW couple.
That's true. Good way to throw that out there, Matt. But this will be the second time, I guess I can at least maybe say that. This will be the second time that we're actually physically out of the country, flying into someplace that we don't know.
Right.
And so I think that's probably what we'll do, is we're just going to kind of feel it out and see how it is. And
because we're doing the city first. Disneyland's at the end of
in the back end.
Correct?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice. Like we just went around, we stayed downtown Tokyo. We went out, we looked around and just kind of just saw what was, around us, and just kind of got the lay of the land,
Yeah. So, well, sorry, go ahead, Marianne.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that if you guys do decide to join and come along with us, we'll have our own kind of private Facebook group. And I know not everybody's a part of Facebook, but at least with your email, we'll send updates out. There's that ding. We'll send updates out through email as well. But essentially, the Facebook group will be a place where if, because there'll be days where we're not doing something the entire day. So you'll have like some time to kind of go explore yourself if you want to. And as we get closer and we start to solidify things, that Facebook group or the emails will be where we kind of tell you what we're going to be doing. And if you're interested in doing the same things that we're doing, you are always more than welcome to join us and tag along, whether that's for dinner or photography stuff. I know that oh my gosh, that's so.
I don't know. See, if I turn it off, then I can't hear you.
That's okay. You're all right. You're all right. But I know that there's some really great things that Taylor and I want to try and see, especially from like a photography and cinematography aspect of that. So, but it's going to be cool. So, I don't know. Is there anything else I should add? I don't even know.
I think that's pretty much the simple day one of what the trip's going to be. It's pretty much explore a little bit on your own and relax. Yeah. It's like get mentally prepared and recharge that battery after everybody's going to have a long flight.
Yeah. Marianne, how long? Okay. Well, you came from Paris. So I think for most of us, the flight's going to be like anywhere.
Hours.
What's that? 14 hours? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, is that 14 hours from LA or?
Do you know, Jake?
Detroit, California.
Like Detroit, California.
Okay. Yeah. Because most of the flights that I was seeing were, looked like they're going to be maybe closer to 18, but that might be with a stop and a layover.
Yeah, right. Because you'll definitely have a layover.
Yeah. 18 but yeah.
Orlando. 18 from Orlando.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And that's where we were looking from.
Yep.
We're here. So, all right. So, day 2 is where we're going to actually kind of head out, start exploring, get to see a little bit of Japan. And like, I'm the worst person probably to talk about any of this stuff. And so I'm going to try and just maybe make some banners real quick and pop them up on the screen, because if I try to pronounce these things, everybody's going to make fun of me and say, you are stupid.
No.
So day 2, we've got up on the screen there. We're going to be mainly what we're hoping to see are the cherry blossoms. So that's kind of why we picked this time of the year. If you've never seen it, there's some really great, I think I pulled out some video here of just kind of the rural side of kind of Tokyo and what we might see. So I'm hoping I can get some cool drone shots as well while we're out there. I mean, I'm just seeing this. I'm like, oh man, looks cool. So, but the trip is really going to be about kind of getting like a cultural feel, learning, understanding a little bit more about Tokyo itself. And so that's what day 2 is going to be. Did you guys do anything like that, Marianne, when you guys were out there?
We did not. Well, we did temple tour. What did we do? Did we do anything like that? We did a few temple tours. We did. Well, we went in July, so no cherry blossoms.
Right.
We visited temples. We went to the anime district. We did things like that.
If you're watching and you see Marianne, she keeps like kind of turning and talking to somebody in the background there. It's Jake.
That's Jake. Yeah.
Hi, Jake.
Hi.
There it is.
You could have just gave just the infamous wave off camera.
Yeah, we kept it more like in the city because we wanted to see like more like sort of like immersed in the culture, so to speak.
Okay.
So we wanted to do more like of the city things. So.
So the shrine here that we're going to be going to, I think, and I've not been there, so bear with me. Is if somebody out there is watching and you've been to Tokyo, and I put video up and you're like, that is not what that place is. Bear with me. I'm just kind of going off of what the internet's telling me. But the temple that we're going to is a pretty famous place. It's pretty well known and photographed. But I don't even know how to describe it. I'm waiting for these videos to upload because I just found them. Here we go. So this is kind of the outside of what it looks like. of where we're going to be going. And here is,
Oh, we saw something like that.
yeah.
I was there
Yeah.
at the Imperial Garden.
I don't know.
So pretty cool. And again, this is going to be something where like during the day, this is what we'll be doing. And then at nighttime or kind of in the evening, we'll have the opportunity to just kind of get out and explore ourselves. Or you can do that, whatever. So
The temples are great because
yeah.
every temple has a different meaning, it's sort of a different background, and they go through like actually what you do from when you get there, how you enter the temple, what you do. It was really interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like it's something that's totally different. I think for most of us, not really getting to see or explore or, I mean, just anything. So, super excited for that. I'm not sure what's going on in the chat here. Dave's talking about something.
Yeah, Dave, like we've talked about in the past about this Japan thing. The
Oh,
only reason
right.
Dave and I would want to go on this trip is so we could go to see New Japan Wrestling at the Tokyo Dome.
There it is.
That's what it's.
I get it. I get it.
Wrestling in Japan is like huge over there compared to what it is over here.
Ashley asked, when are we going? If you're asking when we're actually going, it's going to be March 2023. So plenty of time to actually start planning, or you don't have to do any planning, to start saving. And it's super easy. If you guys are interested in going, you can send an email to events@goldgutgetaways.com. And it's really easy. You guys can make all the deposits and payments through the website all by yourself. So it's super easy and convenient for everybody to do so. So something that we haven't really talked about yet, but Pam has mentioned here, which is that meals are included and admission to the places we are visiting is also included. So throughout this tour that we're doing, I believe we're going to have most breakfast meals and lunches will be provided, which is really nice. And then basically in the evenings for dinner, you'll kind of be on your own to kind of figure something out. And that's where I mentioned earlier, where like if you're part of the Facebook group, you're going with us, you want to take along. That's where we're going to be updating people on what we're going to be doing and what. So,
do you know what kind of lunches, Josh?
Yummy.
No, we don't yet, because most of that stuff's going to be solidified like probably closer towards the end of this year, because we're so far out in the process that like some things just won't be
available yet.
Yeah, for us to book. So and which is we'll talk about it more once we get to Tokyo, but like Tokyo Disney, I think for most of that stuff you can only book stuff like 60 days in advance.
Right.
So but yeah, so that will be day one. And like I said, in the evening, we're going to have the opportunity to go out and explore. And that's probably what we'll do is explore a lot of different things within the city itself. And then day two is really cool. We're actually going to be heading to Mount Fuji, and we're going to take a cable car ride that has panoramic views of the lake that's just below Mount Fuji. Lunch will actually be included there as well, which is pretty cool. We've got some video. Where's it at? I should have like edited some of this because some of this is just like raw files, but it's pretty cool. Like this is an iconic view from a lot of different places in Tokyo that you can see, which is the mountain just kind of rising up, in the distance, which is pretty cool. And Marianne, you said you guys did not go see that, right?
No, because it's far. But how far? We saw that, but we didn't go there to Mount Fuji because we saw it from the Tokyo Skytree. Because how far was it? Like if we wanted to go, like an hour. You know what I mean? We only had 2 days for the city and then 3 days for the park. So we didn't go out there, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, that is when we were talking about doing this, a few things that we definitely want to see. We really want to try to see cherry blossoms. It's an iconic thing when you go to Japan to kind of see those, and then really getting to see Mount Fuji itself. It'd be awesome to be able to like actually hike up it. Nobody else might be.
You could do
Nobody
it.
else might be interested in that.
That's all you.
You know, but it would be pretty cool. So, Melissa, great question, which asks Universal Japan. We have not
Far.
personally planned to do that. Would you say is it far?
City, Josh.
What's that?
It's in another city.
Well, I'm getting there, but yes. But we haven't actually planned on going there. We're just going to kind of stay a little bit closer. But if that's something that like you're interested in doing afterwards, certainly we can help you set up that whole thing, get all that planning done, so that you can get there and then get back to the airport when the trip's all said and done. So, but yeah, so that's going to be most of the day, which is going to see Mount Fuji. And there will be transportation again from the hotel to all of these places that we're going to and back. So you don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. And I think for the most part, we're actually going to have a guide with us. I'm afraid to say too much sometimes. Like, I don't want to stray too far. Pam will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But Amy, Val would hike it with you, Josh. I'm sure he would.
I think he'd be the only person. I think he'd sprint it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So Val was awesome. Val was right there with me the whole time during the marathon. If you guys didn't watch that live stream. So, but yeah, so that is, I'm sorry, that was day 3. So day 4, which is just going to be kind of the city of Tokyo. And we're going to visit the Team Lab Borderless to explore. So Team Lab, Marianne, do you know what that is? Matt, do you know what that is?
I do not.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'm sorry. Me and some of the agents have a drinking game going on that every time Marianne has a ding, we have a sip. Oh, there was another one.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry. Isn't it like a museum that has like projections?
Yeah, so it's really cool. The only thing that I can relate this to is that Vegas had something kind of similar to this. Let me pull it up here.
I don't know.
What is that?
So yeah, so this
that's pretty cool.
So this is a pretty cool place that we're going to go in and check out, and it's basically kind of like local artists who have kind of come up with some of these things, and I do think some of it tends to change to kind of stay fresh, but it's a pretty cool place that we're going to go check out. And of course, like we said earlier, admission is included with all of these destinations that we're going to go see while we're there. So I know some people were kind of like talking about maybe doing the like kind of anime district. Did you guys see that at all, Marianne?
Oh yeah. Yep. Spent like a whole day there almost. It's interesting. I mean, just if you're into like, what is that, Comic-Con? Or if you're into that's that like cartoony stuff, like, but it's huge down there, huge. So yeah, we walked all around that district. So that's very fun to do.
Yeah. This place looks absolutely amazing. But again, depending on how much time we spend here, we may gravitate down towards that district and kind of check out some of that stuff. I know Taylor really wants to check out I think some of like Pokemon stuff. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Josh, there's a question in the chat. Someone asked, "What's that trophy behind you? Like, is that new?"
Oh, look at that,
Yo,
Dina. I like that. Way to be. Oh, look, I am flexing. This is my trophy for completing. I know it's really hard to read because of the lighting. Oh, and now it doesn't want to focus on it, right?
Is that like gummy bears in a 24-hour time frame?
Oh, you're funny. But this was gifted to me because I completed the Dopey challenge a couple weeks ago.
They may not know what that is, Josh.
That's true. The Dopey challenge, if you guys don't know, is a Run Disney event for Marathon Weekend. It happens each year in January, except for 2021, and you run a 5K, 10K, a half, and a full 4 days in a row. So, yeah. I survived. So did many other people. But it was fun.
6,000, but that doesn't matter, Josh. The point is, in our circle of friends, you did it.
That's right. That's right.
You're the best, Josh.
He is.
Another question in the chat, Josh. I'm gonna guess it's Krista. Kids allowed?
I don't think that we were limiting it from kids, and I think Pam's been in the chat, so she will correct me if I am wrong. I don't see why kids necessarily couldn't come, but it may be something where like this might be a trip where if you're going to bring kids, you might want them to be like maybe 12 and older at least.
It's a lot of walking. It's long
yeah.
days. Mhm.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot. So I think
I'm trying to see if there's anything in the notes that I got from Pam, and I'm not seeing anything. But obviously, that's something that Krista, if you have a question, you can talk to you. Obviously, you know Pam.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had talked about it, but I don't think that we had limited it to just adults. But again, pricing is all based on double occupancy, so keep that in mind as well.
14 would be good. I see someone put that in the chat. 14 would be a good age.
Yeah, yeah. So Pam said she's going to need to check on that. So, yeah, I would say, I mean, 12. I wouldn't say anything less than 12, but like ideally, yeah, if you could do like if your kids are 14 and older, might be good. So, yeah, I mean, Michelle said I plan to take my son because his dream, but I don't think this trip will be our time. We get to go, unfortunately. So, but I mean, you could always use this itinerary for another time. So, and Michelle, will there be an anime thing? So we were kind of just talking about, about that, which was after we left that kind of art museum, which kind of changes and is interactive. We'll probably take a little bit of time and head down into the city to explore some of those other things. And I just lost my other itinerary.
If you're staying in the city, you certainly could go to that museum and then just use. It's not the T. What's it called? The subway. The train, the subway.
What is it? What is it, Jake?
I don't know.
JR line is also
Jake, just pop your head on. We're all friends here.
He's so weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's underground. It's the subway, the train. I don't know. But definitely you could do that. You could, from where you were, get on there because you can. We just Googled it. You know what I mean? And or Googled like whatever the subway was called, and then it'll tell you exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
And then go from the, if you wanted to go to the anime district from there.
Yeah. Well,
you get a Suica card. That's what it was.
Okay. Well, segueing from that into day 5, which is going to be kind of like our last really kind of full day in Tokyo, will be really at your leisure to just kind of get out and explore and do whatever you want. So if for some reason, didn't get to do this or that in the evenings, whatever, day 5 is really going to be the day for you to get out and explore a lot of the city. And like Marianne was saying, I mean, it should be pretty easy to navigate because most everything is still in English, right?
Right. I thought I saw on the itinerary somewhere you were going to do the Shibuya Crossing. Have to do it. You have to do that.
Okay.
That is the busiest crossing intersection. What? Pedestrian crossing like in the world.
Okay.
So absolutely. And then get it from up top where you see all the millions of people crossing and then go down and do it.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Got to do that.
I got a feeling you were making that up, Marianne, because I don't see it on our itinerary.
I thought I read it. If I didn't, add it because you need to do it.
Perfect. There we go. That's Marianne's tip of the day. Got to do it.
Got to do it. And that's near the dog. So yeah, that's definitely near the dog. Hachi is the dog. There's a little story here. I'm going to tell it. Hachi is the dog. Okay. And every year he would go with his owner and the owner would take the train to work. Well, one day the owner died at work and never came back. So for 10 years, the dog kept going back to the train station there waiting for his owner until the dog passed away. And then they erected a statue and millions of visitors come and take their picture by the statue.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, that's nice.
But still, you got to see it.
Yeah.
It's but it's culture. It's what you got to see.
That's true. That's true. I think we have a little video clip that I can throw up of that. Yeah. So I think for us, I mean, obviously, this is we've been talking about Alaska kind of being a once in a lifetime trip, which I think Alaska still is. But going to Japan in and of itself, I mean, you're going to a completely different country, totally different culture. 100%. This is like a total once in a lifetime trip. So we are super excited. Just to see and do everything. And I think as the only way that I can relate this is for everybody out there who comes to Disney once a year, every other year, even twice a year sometimes, where you feel like you just got to run from place to place and just do everything you can as quickly as you can. And I feel like that's going to be something we're really going to have to try to control when we get there.
You can't do it all. You can't.
I know, but you want to try to.
I know. We tried, we failed, but we got a lot in. You just have to prioritize really like what you want to see.
Yeah. So, well, and we talked about this a little bit off air before we started, Marianne, but tell us your not really a secret, but kind of your packing tip here for souvenirs and stuff. Because I mean, obviously, like we're probably gonna end up buying stuff, but I'm sure everybody else is too. So,
well, you're gonna laugh, but you need to do this. We literally we went to all the parks, remember? So we went to Paris, to Tokyo, to Hong Kong, to Shanghai. So we literally took 2 empty suitcases with us. So we would have room to take all the souvenirs back. Because Tokyo, from all the parks, is the one that has the most different. Everything is different there. Like the merch is different. It's like you want to just buy like so much stuff. Yeah. So you have to have room to bring it back.
Right.
Half these listeners are going to be trashed if they're playing this game. So
is that a MacBook? Is that a MacBook?
Yes, and it's my email, but I don't know how to. If I mute it, I can't hear you.
You can't just turn your notifications off?
I don't know how to do that.
We'll get that for next time because you'll be under Ryan on the podcast list.
Oh boy.
I know. All right, Jake.
It's okay. We still love you.
That's a bad place to be.
Oh.
But people get off that list. Dave has got off that list real quickly.
I don't think I should be on the list for technical, things that are out of my control.
We just won't let Jake back on.
I think it is. Well, yeah.
He's trying to find it, but we looked. I don't know where it is.
It's okay. Marianne, if we're not messing with you,
okay. Then
my week's not complete.
I know, Matt.
Oh, Taylor must be watching in the other room. Wow.
Get Jake to help. He's trying, Taylor. He can't do it either. We're just a hot mess over here.
Yeah, it's all right. I saw I don't know if Dave was being serious, but was talking about what hotels.
He is because he texted me about it to get exacts too.
So we don't have any hotels officially booked yet. Again, we're so far out. Basically, kind of what we have locked in is kind of like a set price, and then the hotels are going to fall with the hotel that we choose for the week is going to fall within that. So as we get closer, that detail will be readily available as soon as we have it. Yeah. So it's not like we're not saying it like Motel 6 or anything, people. Like, we're still going to be staying at a pretty nice place. So
good. And if it's near a train station, even better.
Yeah, that essentially would be really nice. And of course, going even without it being that way, I guess though too is the fact that we will have transportation provided to us as well. So there's a bug in here crawling around. Melissa, so where can we see the pricing in Itinerary? Info to come. Very nice hotel. So yeah, we will. If you are interested in going, you can send an email to events@goldgalgetaways.com. And we will add you to a list that we have, and emails are going to start going out, and it's going to have all of the information. And I would highly suggest that you take advantage of it. I mean, if you're interested in doing this, we've got limited amount of spots. It could sell out, so get in, make a deposit, and get ready to experience something that not many people really get to do.
That's true.
So, and people are asking about pricing. Pricing, I'm telling you, is very, very reasonable.
Yep.
It doesn't include flights because flights really aren't something that we book. It's going to be, I think, easier probably for you to take a look at that and book what you feel most comfortable with. Because there's a large, there's a bunch of airlines that you can choose to fly
Everybody's
with,
coming from
so.
different areas, so it's just easier that way.
That's also true
Right.
too.
And then Josh, just piggybacking on that. So like Melissa's an agent, Josh. I don't know if you remember who Melissa is.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll probably have in the next couple of weeks an agent meeting where we're going to discuss to all the agents more details about this. So,
And now just to answer, because I saw Dave's question, but you're moving then from downtown onto Disney property if for who's ever going to do the parks, because that's definitely a must.
Correct. So our last day, which is day 6, is technically a transfer day. So day 6, we will have breakfast will be provided to us, but we'll be transferring from our hotel to the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel. That's what we've got, or at least that's the plan of what we've got set up. So, but again, the Tokyo Disneyland portion isn't necessarily included with this because you can't book anything for Tokyo. Like,
yeah,
you got to be like 2 months out.
Yeah. I think we did it. It was pretty close to the time. We were able to get the hotel, but then we couldn't get the park tickets. And I don't even know if all that's changed. We went in 2019. So,
yeah.
But yeah, you definitely want to stay on property for this.
Josh, can you do me a favor? If you got a second, can you just put up the Events at Go Getaways email address?
Oh yes, of course.
Yep. So
That'd
if you're interested in Japan information, that is your contact right there. So events at gogetaways.com, and in the subject title, you're going to type in Japan. And if you're going to watch this on YouTube later, we can put a link in the description, right, Josh? That's your
absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
Now, do you want to talk at all, Josh, about the parks?
Yeah, take it away. We haven't been there. You have, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you had a segue into that.
I mean, my segue would be what we were just segueing to, which was that we're going to be transferring the last day to Tokyo Disneyland. So are they close? They're close together, right? Like Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, they're pretty much right beside each other.
Well, it's like a monorail away. Like they have a monorail that goes around, and then it goes, to there, and it goes to Ispiri. Is that what it was? Ispiri. That was like a shopping little area. What? Like a Disney Springs type thing, but it's indoors.
So, Marianne, kind of similar to like Disneyland, like the distance between the two parks, or a little bit further.
No, because you can walk at Disneyland, literally, like
right.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
No,
They're connected, but they're back to back instead of front to front.
So they're connected, but back to back instead of front to front. So if you stay on property, the monorail there is not free. If you stay at one of the hotels, then it is free. They give you this little. Where's my little card?
She was so excited about this card. Now she can't find it.
Oh, one of these. So you'll get it, and then that will be, it's free to the people in the hotel, and it'll be like date based. So if we were going in between parks, you can't walk it. You would take the monorail, which is the cleanest. I have to just say that these parks are the cleanest parks you will ever see in your whole entire life. The monorail was so clean you could eat off the floor. I couldn't believe it.
I wouldn't recommend doing that. We have a pandemic going on, so
okay, maybe
we have some people in the chat. Like I see Eric's in the chat. He might take you a little too seriously.
He might.
I mean, it was very clean. And another perk when you stay at the parks, at least before, you got an early 15. And initially I thought, like, what are we going to do with 15 minutes? But that 15 minutes gets you in the park before the other thousands of people that are like trying to get in. So it was perfect. Like at the time they had fast passes, if they still do. I sent Jake to get a fast pass. We got in line for something else. It gave you time to have a little extra time in the shops, whatever you were going to do. So that was another perk that was good. And the Japanese people are very, very friendly. When we watch parades, they actually sit down. Like the first 3 rows sit down, the back stands. There's no pushing. There's no shoving. It was it was great. You didn't have to be there 5 hours before a parade. I mean, was a great experience, I
Yeah.
have to say.
Yeah. So I'm going to just address a couple of comments that just came through. So Monica says, can we get a copy of the itinerary? Yes. Send an email to events@goldgallgetaways.com. Ashley said, are you doing a group cruise again? And some people did answer it already in the comments, but yes, Alaska, same thing. If you're interested, events@goldgallgetaways.com. 2022 this year in July.
15th.
What?
July 15th.
Yeah. Just like this year, July.
Well, I want to get specifics so we don't get asked again.
That's true. Well, good job.
Trying.
And then Fast Pass fam, is it just one day at Tokyo Disneyland? So really, you can extend this trip as long as you would like. I'm not sure yet exactly how far we're going to extend. I think we were talking somewhere about 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, is that enough, Marianne, to see it?
Yeah. Because the way they did it before was you could do one park your first day. So you did Disneyland. The second day you had to do the other park. So we did Disney Sea. Then the third day you could hop back and forth, which was nice because then you could go back and either see something you didn't or repeat something that you've already done that you liked. So that's how it was then, if they keep it the same way. And that would be enough. That would be a minimum.
Okay. Yeah. And that's probably what we're going to end up doing is taking those 3 extra days on the back end and doing exactly that, which is pretty cool.
I mean, I think because it's just the most different park. I think because Disney doesn't own the park, so it's familiar, but it's not. Well, you know what I mean. It's familiar, but it's different. So, which was kind of nice.
Well, I mean, almost everyone who has been there has said that it is by far the best Disney park in the world. And there's how many out there? There's not a ton, obviously, but it is, and so I mean, you go to Tokyo, you have to go see that too. So
you have to get your Duffy ears. That's why I have my Duffy ears on. Duffy is huge over there. The little Duffy bear and all the Duffy friends. They even, when people go into restaurants in the parks, they bring their bears and the friends and give them a seat at the table. So when you're walking through the restaurant, people are eating with their stuffed animals.
Do they put them in high chairs?
Little like booster seats.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And throughout, I didn't see it at Disneyland, but I saw it at Disney Sea. You could go different places in the park and it'll be like a photo op for your Duffy bear. Park it on the little seat, take a little selfie, you know what I mean, with it.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to get one.
Oh, absolutely. You have
to. Here's a great question that Eric just asked. Are the rides Pooh Bear friendly? And,
yes, most of them. Well, yes and no. Well, what do you think?
It's the same as probably all the parks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's saying depends on the ride. Yeah. Because honestly, there's really it would be depends on the ride. Let's just go with that. Yeah. I'd say mostly yes, but there may be a few that may not be Pooh Bear friendly.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add? I don't even really. It's tough to really like talk about an experience that you have yet to experience.
To do buckets. So. If people, collect the popcorn buckets, every park has a different popcorn bucket with a different flavor. Like they just don't have just regular popcorn flavor. There's a multiple of flavors that you can choose from. Each stand is a different flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like just like different things like that. Besides, like I said, the merch. What do you want to add, Jake? Anything that is something that's different? Oh, anyway, so I can't. So, if you do the trip, it is definitely worth doing the trip because, another thing is everybody, because they still have tickets. They don't have magic bands there. Everybody has these like little purses that you put your ticket in. I don't know what you would call it, a ticket holder, but it could be like an alien, from Aliens. It could be, of course, Duffy or Shelly May. You see everybody walking around with like that kind of pack. I know Taylor will have. Yep.
Yeah. Ashley said, how was the food?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I have to say, probably the best park food that we've had.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, park food is park food, but it was the best park food, wouldn't you think?
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes park food's not that tasty, and
Yeah.
it's different. You know what I mean? Like a sandwich or hamburger might come on like a Mickey shaped bun. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
So, like it's just everything is different. Jake, can you get I'm going to lose battery.
Oh boy.
You can tell I don't, I'm not technologically.
It's all right. At least my battery didn't die tonight, so
Yeah,
we're good.
mine could be.
So, are there adventurous and non-adventurous food options?
I'm sure there probably is to some extent.
So, like,
I mean, I would think so. Like, to me, the way I'm looking at it is that, well, and Marianne can answer this. Is there a lot of Americanized style
Yes.
food, or is it okay?
Yes, because I'm not as adventurous as, like, say, Jake was, but yeah, I was never not able to find, something to eat.
Okay, because for me, when we go, I'm going to be just trying to. It's just it's probably going to be stuff that I don't like, but
you
I just
gotta
want to try. I want to
Right.
try as much as I can. Things that
I mean, because Disney is a park, so you are going
Right.
to have. Like, they had chicken nuggets, they had hamburgers, you know what I
Right.
mean. So yeah, the park, you'll have no problem.
Yeah.
Finding something.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Ding,
we're charging.
ding.
Right, this is like a
Oh boy.
charging. Get mine. It's in my bag. No, it's plugged in the wall. Get mine.
Wow.
Oh, wait, let me unplug this. I'm sorry.
The best part is for everybody at home, like when we have agency meetings and stuff like this is frequent to us. We're used to this.
Right.
So like
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. If any of my clients are watching, I'm sorry. Oh.
Oh my gosh. That's all right. No, and I just we probably did kind of go through this a little bit quickly, and I'm sure many of you, if you're interested, like I said, send us an email at events@gogogetaways.com. We'll get all the information, as much of the details that we have out to you. But this is an official thing, so you will have to place a deposit to secure your spot, and it's super simple. So we've got a little web portal where you can do that. You don't have to kind of go through us like, if you were booking a Disney vacation, a lot of times we still have to take your credit card information and make those payments. This way is it's all kind of self automated for the most part for you. So you don't really have to worry about that. But for other things and planning, we're always here to help you guys with that, whether that's at the back end of the trip, taking a couple extra days in Tokyo Disney, or even on the front end, if you want to go in early, with everything that Taylor and I are doing this year, I've been thinking about it a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually end up going in much earlier if we can, to maybe even see a little bit more of Japan as a whole. So, but we'll see. So,
and somebody asked about are the menus and things translated in English? If they're not in English, there's a picture, because a lot of all right,
we got it,
because a lot of things are not in that sense in English, but there's always a picture of what it is and you can point.
So I guess a Google search might be best for everybody, but Marianne, if you don't know, how far is it to Universal? Because that's what a couple people keep asking.
How far to Universal?
Universal is not in Tokyo.
It's
right,
not Tokyo.
right. So how far, like a train ride, are we talking? Do you guys know?
The bullet train, probably like 3-ish hours. You can fly.
He said if you can get a bullet train, maybe 3-ish hours.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not that it's not doable. It certainly is doable. But it's something that where I would probably give that a whole day. And if you can, try to take the earliest train ride out.
Oh, it's not a day trip. No. Yeah, because somebody was asking, would you add that on? I wouldn't add that on because you can fly back to the States from Osaka, he's saying. But I just think that's going to be a lot to pack in, along with seeing everything at Disneyland. I guess it depends on the time you have, but it might be too much, honestly.
Yeah.
Josh, so I just put it into Google Maps. So Tokyo Disneyland to Universal Japan is 6.5 hours drive.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's pretty far. So, I mean, if it's something that you're interested in doing, it's something that we can definitely help you with.
Wait, somebody's asking about. I'm sorry, Josh. I don't.
You're all right. Go ahead.
Somebody's asking about. Is there a blog you can try to watch? TDR Explorer is the one who covers everything over there.
Yeah. And then Dave said, "Is there any chance we could do some history stuff like Hiroshima?" We can certainly try to. I don't know how much of the actual itinerary we can adjust or how far we can really go. But I mean, at this point, really, aside from the itinerary, if you're interested in doing some other things, I would just encourage you to kind of get an idea of like the city center of Tokyo and then look at like train routes and see how long it'll take you to take a train to someplace else and back.
The trains are great, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely an inexpensive and viable means of transportation to see a lot of sites.
Right. So, I mean, if you're going to do something, if it's going to be within the itinerary, the last day before we transfer to Tokyo, Disneyland is probably going to be your day to do it. But again, this is we can still kind of customize this a little bit for you if needed. So, but yeah, I have nothing else to add.
I got nothing.
You got nothing, Matt?
Nothing. I'm too busy I'm doing other work over here.
He's not going. So
I'm not going. So as of right now, unless I win that Powerball and I can just take a year off of coaching. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'd rather go in January for more priority than over cherry blossoms, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
we're all different. That's what's great about us.
I know.
Yeah. So awesome. If you guys are interested, we're going to be talking about this a lot moving forward. So if you're interested, I encourage you send an email to events@gogogetaways.com. Take a look at the itinerary. Take a look at the pricing. If you are interested, seriously about doing this, put the deposit down, and we'll add you to the Facebook group and kind of get some more details as we go. Because it's going to be a lot of fun, and
it is.
If if this video up here, doesn't really sum it up. I mean, I wish everybody who wasn't there could be there. Taylor and I were just talking about it today that everybody that we met on this first group cruise, like, it's just it's awesome to have built such a friendship with these people. So, we're super excited to be able to travel and do some other things with them, including going to Tokyo. So it's going to be a fantastic time. And even if you don't want to come a part of us, Taylor and myself, you just want to go and explore, have fun, do it. Again, it's once in a lifetime. So that's it.
That's it for this week.
Let's send it off.
Marianne, do we have Josh? Do you have her email? So if
I don't have hers up there.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't.
Wow,
sorry, Marianne.
Sorry, we were unprepared. We were too busy trying to cook your audio.
Talk about me dinging over here.
What do we got? So next week, Josh is on we'll call it sabbatical. You're away. You're away from.
I think Taylor announced it, so I mean it doesn't really matter.
Oh no, no, you're going on the Disney Fantasy.
It is. Oh, look at this. We just got our stuff today. Yay!
That's perfect. So with Josh away, we're gonna have a good episode next week. If you're not a part of our agency a little bit, the duo of Josh and myself has now become a trio. Dave Adams will be joining the podcast consistently week in and week out. If you haven't seen him, he's been in our two of our past episodes, 3 episodes overall. Great guy. We're going to try some new things next week. We're not going to tell anybody. We got some ideas. So next week you want to check out that episode. Make sure to like it and subscribe to the Go Get Getaways YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, and now we have a full-time agent page where it's Go Gal Getaways, right? We didn't.
Yeah,
It's I know we were having some. So you can just type in Go Gal Getaways into the search, and it's a full.
Should come up.
It should. If it doesn't, type in Go Gal Getaways Travel Agency, and give that a thumbs up. I want to see that at 1,000 followers by the. I was hoping we were going to get 1,000 by today, but I got a feeling some people dropped the ball on that one. But
we'll
Right,
get there.
what happens if you hit 1,000?
well, it wasn't that. Marianne, I was expecting you to get us that 1,000, but you were too busy trying to figure out your sound and your speakers, and you were worried about your Duffy ears, and then you showed us a map. So
Yeah, I was very busy. I was very busy.
Yeah, so we want to try to. I want to say midnight tonight. I think we can do it, especially with a lot of our agents. Other than that, we are back next Tuesday. Dave and myself we'll probably have the most views ever.
You guys might.
We've been talking about doing a call-in show. Ooh, that might be a little wild and crazy, but make sure to check us. Yeah, make sure. Maybe we'll call Josh from. Where are you going to be next Tuesday?
On Tuesday, I don't know. Tortola?
Okay, you probably have better reception there than you do on the ship.
Well, but by the time we do the podcast, we'll already be back out at sea. So.
Oh, perfect. So maybe we'll call in Josh, see what happens, and see how the trip's going. But then that, yeah,
that's what it'll look like.
But other than that, I can subscribe to everything on social media. Now we're off to plan your next vacation.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.